Hi, little rabbits. It's Miss Wilfert. I hope you're doing well. I miss you very much. What I wanted to go over for this week is how to do your body paragraph charts. I have my computer up on the graphic organizer that you filled in last week. Do video games have a major effect on players' health? What I want to remind you of is what you did last week was looked at each of the different categories: promote exercise, sharpen vision, and this one you can't see right now, but create bonds of friendship. And then you went through the articles after reading them, went through the articles and found quotes that matched each of those different categories. Now, what I've done for you this week is I went ahead and created body paragraph organizers. Now, these are going to look, I hope, for you, very similar to what you've been used to working with all year with me. I went ahead and filled in, I made body paragraph number 1, number 2, see right here, and number 3. And what I want you to notice is I went ahead and filled in a topic sentence for each one of those body paragraphs, and I also went ahead and pulled what I thought were 2 very meaty quotes for each topic. So let's, for example, look at body paragraph number 1. The topic sentence is video games can be valuable and an enjoyable form of exercise. So what I did is pulled one really strong quote for that and then went down and went ahead and pulled a second very strong quote. So what your assignment is going to be for this week is you're going to, in each one of these organizers, you're going to do the commentary, which is your explanation of why that particular quote fits in with this topic sentence. So I'm going to talk you through this on this first one just to make sure that we're all on the same page. So, topic sentence: video games can be a valuable and enjoyable form of exercise. You'll notice that I pulled this first quote. Both of the quotes I pulled from source 4, which I thought was the strongest article about physical exercise. So the Wii, which has sold more than 30 million consoles across the Americas, comes with a controller that encourages people to physically move as they play. Sports-style games such as baseball and boxing let players move their arms. Nintendo also makes a foot pad accessory, the Wii Fit, that allows players to try dance steps or yoga. I pulled this quote because even though a lot of people don't have Wiis in their homes anymore, it's a really strong explanation of a video game promoting exercise. It may help for you to Google what a Wii was if you're not sure what it is. Some homes have them still, some don't, but it was pretty much just a console that had different sports up on the screen, and then you would hold the little controller, and let's say the game was tennis, the controller would act as a tennis racket, or if it was bowling, you would be using the controller to pretend that you were rolling the ball towards the pins, that sort of thing. So if you're not sure what a Wii or a Wii Fit is, by all means Google it. You'll see a picture. Knowing YouTube these days, there'd probably be videos on it. But anyway, I pulled this because it makes the commentary very easy. Just to give you an example of commentary on this, you could say something, and remember, we're always, whatever the quote we pull, we're always coming back up to the topic sentence. Video games can be valuable and an enjoyable form of exercise. So the first this shows that could be something like, this shows that video game consoles like the Wii allow people to get plenty of good exercise. And then this also shows that video games can, you could say something like, this also shows that people can play baseball, boxing, and many other sports on their video games. Okay, literally that simple. Like I just did the 2 commentaries for that quote. You follow? So, and by the way, you can play this, video as many times as you need if you need clarification, and obviously email me too if you have any trouble. So those would be the 2 commentaries for that quote. Coming down to the second one, but the AHA, by the way, that's American Heart Association. Said it is endorsing the We Too because it will encourage sedentary Americans to take the first step toward fitness. With 70% of Americans doing no regular physical activity at all, the AHA wants to find a way to reach out to people turned off by gyms and traditional sports. To give you an example of how easy this commentary could be, I like pulling anything that is an association or a doctor or an expert because you can make the commentary flow so easily that way. So an example of a commentary for this, remember, we're coming back up to why does this quote fit to the topic sentence? Video games can be a valuable and enjoyable form of exercise. So on this one, I would say something like, this shows that the American Heart Association is even endorsing video games because it believes that it will help people gain, great exercise and fitness. This also shows that, and look at this right here, that with 70% of Americans getting no physical activity, the American Heart Association thinks that they can become physically active by moving on to video games instead of other forms of exercise. Okay, so that's literally what I want you to do for next week is only do the commentary. We will go down and discuss the concluding sentences later. If you want to move ahead and go ahead and do your concluding sentences for each paragraph, you know me, I have no problem with that at all. But the actual assignment, the minimum expectation is to go through and do your commentaries for each paragraph. So you're doing number 3, number 4, number 6, and number 7. So 2 commentaries per quote per each paragraph. So here's number 1. This is the one that's on exercise. Number 2, the one on sharpening vision. And 3, the one on friendship. Now, I am going to tell you that I had to get a little creative with pulling my quotes for friendship. There just wasn't as much on friendship as the other 2. So this one, I think you'll have no problem getting both commentaries on. When you get down to this one, I don't know, if you end up needing to go with one, I can deal with that. The way to get 2 out of this would be to discuss that they had bonding friendships, and then on the other part, the other commentary, you could discuss that kids back in the day didn't have ways to bond really, because this talks about 30 years ago. So kids back in the day, meaning kind of during my time, well, even I go back even more than 30 years if you're going childhood for me, we didn't have ways to bond with friends if your friends couldn't come over that day, or if there was bad weather and you couldn't be outside. And so now these days you guys can hang out and play video games in ways that we couldn't before. So actually I take that back. I think you could get 2 commentaries out of that. All right. That is the assignment. I went ahead and posted your no red ink already, but this is the assignment for this week. I'm going to have this this due on Sunday as well, so that it gives you plenty of time to work through this if any of you need extra time over the weekend. I have heard from quite a few kids that their families are kind of dealing with all sorts of different issues. I don't mean COVID related, but just kind of other things happening. So I think this this should be a manageable amount of work. Please don't hesitate to email me during office hours. I will for sure be available during those times, but I'll also, I check my computer honestly constantly. So if you have any questions on this or you need any help, anything like that, I'm happy to walk you through it. I do though want you to for sure watch all of the video before you try to do any of the assignments. Love you very much. I hope you're doing well. Let me know if you need anything at all. Bye, darlings.